Hi, folks. This is Dr. Kat Schreier, WaterCitizenNews.com, your water mobile journalist, Wawa Mojo. Be in the know on H2O with the Wawa Mojo. And I am here at the Innovation Pavilion at WEFTEC with all water and wastewater utilities. And we're here at the Innovation Pavilion, where we're talking about different ways that wastewater utilities are integrating innovation, and one of the major parts of that is lift. And I am here with Dave Parry with CDM Smith, who is on the Technical Advisory Committee.
Yes,
for lift.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about lift.
Lift is to leverage innovative future technology, to have it so new and even some crazy ideas can get developed and collaborated with utilities, with academia, and with manufacturers and vendors to promote this for technologies that can help us treat water and the resulting biosolids from it and for a lower cost, to improve our environment and to get those technologies to markets.
Now, what is the role of lift in working with wastewater utilities and working with the entrepreneurs, the labs, the generators of these new ideas in water?
Their role mainly is that of collaboration, and so it's not it's not coincidence that we call this a collaboration panel that we have. The lift is all about getting the different people together, the utilities that have the need, the academia that are studying and doing the research, and then consulting firms like CDM Smith that are designing the systems and putting them in, and utilities that have the need. So understanding the drivers and the needs is what is going to drive that innovation in the technology. So it's all about collaboration.
And how do consulting firms get involved with innovation?
Consulting firms, we get involved in innovation. It can be a differentiator for us. We don't want to just be a commodity that, hey, everyone else can design this. We're just trying to compete by cost. We want to have the good ideas, know the latest technology, be able to offer the best solutions to our clients. So, by staying up on that, investing in research ourselves, then our clients can look to us saying, wow, they're a leading edge. They can bring the best solution to us rather than just the status quo.
And for our audience here, in talking about the consulting firms in the water and wastewater industry, typically we're talking about engineering, environmental science consulting firms that do so much in terms of actually constructing, monitoring, a lot of the work that goes into developing the water and wastewater industries.
That's right. And then our clients look to us to be the objective advisor. So we really don't promote one technology. We promote the technology that is best for that client. So we need to be knowledgeable about all the different new technologies. But you won't see us, marketing just one. We may recommend one after analyzing a particular client. But
now, drawing on that background from your consulting experience, you have been serving on this review panel with Lift,
right,
for so I gather it's helping to do that initial review on behalf of the wastewater utilities of some of these ideas that are coming up of new companies, new technologies that are being developed that could be applied to wastewater utilities.
That's right.
How does that process work?
What happens is we put out an advertisement within Water Environment Federation and to the utilities, to the academia, to the consulting community, get the word out there that we want proposals. We want to hear about new technologies, different ideas. Please, give your proposals and submit them. And so then we receive these ideas, and there's a format that how they submit and define it and describe it. And then there's a panel of us that review those technologies. And we met and said, what are we going to review it by? And it's how proven is it? How developed is it, I should say? And then what's the potential? And how many of the utilities need it? And so if something has a great need, if it's been developed enough to say, hey, this has promise, and there's some proof and data to it, boy, that score's high. If something's just a crazy idea that doesn't have any development to it, we get back and we help that group that made that proposal by saying, hey, you need to develop this a little bit, get a little bit more data, do a little bit more homework to propose it, and then come back and propose again. So that's what's going on there.
Now you've had some firsthand experience with developing a crazy idea with one of your colleagues. Tell us about that story.
Yeah, I mentioned in the panel, I mean, someone asked about crazy ideas, and I do both crazy ideas and more applied research that is more developed. But crazy one was an idea. Mike Lewis, great engineer that had ideas on the thermal side. I do a lot of digestion. He came to me and said, Dave, I got a crazy idea. Cellulose doesn't digest well, and cellulose comes from, toilet paper has a lot of cellulose. A lot of people think that digests, but it doesn't really. And that's what's left over in the digest. After we digest, anaerobically digest and get biogas out, there's a lot of biosolids left. So he says, I think we could treat that thermally, and then could you treat it biologically? So what he was thinking is a low temperature pyrolysis, which is basically just a low temperature cooking of this dried sludge, and getting the pyrolytic acids and gases that come off of that. And he says, could I stick those back in the digester? And I said, acids would digest, that's what we digest, but we could see. So he first pyrolyzed toilet paper and sent me the condensate in a jar, and I put it in our labs in Bellevue, Washington, and tested it. And sure enough, it digests. So then we said, well, let's take that crazy idea and go directly to dried biosolids. So we got dried biosolids that were dried and actually marketed as a fertilizer, Sound Grow down in Pierce County, Washington. And we pyrolyzed that. Pyrolyzing is to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was a converted barbecue in my backyard. And we barbecued that, all it contained, and condensed it, and got oils and condensate, and there's gases also, and we sent that into our lab and digested. And sure enough, it digested. At the same time, it turned the dried biosolids, already a great product, into a biogen better. It holds moisture and nutrients better. It converted half of the solids into gas that we then were able to get more biogas out that could produce more power. So a crazy idea, but then we took that and tested it, got enough data saying, hey, it digests. The biosolids didn't all stick together. They're still very manageable, could be easily applied on the land. And now Energy has bought the rights to that technology, bought them from Mike Lewis, and they're going to test it in Encino Wastewater Authority in Carlsbad, California. They're going to do a test on that at a full scale. So it took an idea, two guys just kind of kicking ideas around. Now it's moving forward to and it has a tremendous benefit.
Put some sweat into it.
That's right.
And take that crazy idea, add a little sweat, and a little barbecue. Remember, I was going to say that David's a doctor, so don't try this at home. But then again, if you have the training, if you know what you're doing, you don't want to mix it with your bratwurst. The Queen might not be happy about that.
That's right. Yeah, and then but there's a whole workshop tomorrow on thermal chemical conversion of biosolids into valuable products, and so what starts as a crazy idea can actually turn out to be a good idea.
Well, there's certainly a lot of water citizens out there who are interested in coming up with new ideas, and some of them might actually be willing to put in the sweat and the barbecue sauce it takes to take it all the way. So thank you very much for taking the time to sit down with us. David Parry from CDM Smith here at the Innovation Pavilion. I'm Dr. Kat Schreier, your Wawa Mojo. Be in the know with your Wawa Mojo on H2O.